Tonight, a new energy agreement that could pave the way for a West Coast pipeline.
It's a great day for Alberta. It's a great day for Canada.
The plan to build as early as next year.
Can they actually meet that deadline?
And the pushback, why some accuse Ottawa of compromising on climate.
1877 cars for kids.
You know the jingle, but do you know where your donation goes?
They think the money is going to help needy kids in Canada. It's not.
The California court ruling that pulled the ads off the air. Drake takes over Toronto to drop not one, but 3 new albums.
I think part of his job now is to resuscitate his career.
Dodging cumulus clouds.
How the Canadian rapper's comeback is being received.
From CBC News, this is The National with Erica Johnson.
Thanks for joining us. A pipeline to bring Alberta oil to the Pacific is one handshake closer to reality, from Alberta's Premier and the Prime Minister. For the first time, the project even has a timeline. Mark Carney said today's announcement was about building trust with a pipeline that could be shovel-ready by fall of next year. Danielle Smith championing what she called targeted changes to federal climate policy, including the industrial carbon tax. Environmentalists fearing it will accelerate climate change. Tonight, Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton has the politics, Sam Sampson in Edmonton has the challenges on the ground, and David Thurton has the promises that have now been made, including how this moves Ottawa and Alberta closer to building a pipeline, but also to rising backlash.
Alberta's Premier and Canada's Prime Minister signing off on a consequential climate policy, paving the way for a major energy project.
The proposed West Coast oil pipeline would transport more than 1 million barrels of oil per day.
A pipeline and a timeline. The agreement puts forward these dates. July 1st, a pipeline application gets submitted. October 1st, it's eligible to be fast-tracked under law. And September 1st, 2027, shovels go into the ground.
Today, as you've just heard, Canada and Alberta have agreed to create markets that deliver an effective carbon price.
Alberta agreed to raise the actual carbon price big polluters pay. Now it's roughly $40 per ton in Alberta. By 2040, it'll rise to $130.
This is not a retail carbon tax. You will not see this on your diesel or gasoline or any of your fill-up bills. You will not see it on your home heating bill. This is an industrial price.
A carbon price for a pipeline, something Smith had suggested.
Let's call it the grand bargain.
But it's a significantly less aggressive carbon pricing timeline than under the previous Liberal government. And it puts some Liberal MPs who advocate for climate in a difficult position with their voters.
And I think that's something that our entire caucus can get behind, is the idea that we're going to be working cooperatively and keep building our country.
A pipeline remains divisive among coastal First Nations.
It's no place for oil tankers, and no offer of equity or ownership will change our position.
A position the BC government supports. The province frustrated it's been sidelined.
The Prime Minister, if he sees this as a national deal, surely should have been in discussions with the whole country.
In fact, BC's Premier goes further, saying the Carney government is rewarding bad behavior with Alberta's threat to separate. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Even with a new timeline, this is still just a project on paper. Sam Sampson now on what needs to happen on the ground to make it a reality.
The message from Ottawa and Alberta's latest agreement: prepare for a new pipeline, Canada. It'll run from Alberta through BC to the West Coast, with construction starting as early as September 2027. But it still needs a private company to back it.
We also have had all of the major pipeline companies at the table advising us on this.
Though Alberta's Premier has hinted at cooperation, the province is still the only funder.
Well, that may be more ambiguous.
This former energy executive says investor doubts still linger, which could hold back private dollars.
Can they actually meet that deadline? And the ambiguities of the courts related to whatever, outstanding stakeholders who are disgruntled by any approval.
Some Indigenous communities have protested past pipeline plans through traditional territory. This new agreement emphasizes meaningful consultation.
It really muddies the water.
But critics warn it'll be tough to do it properly with First Nations in 2 provinces before next September.
It would be difficult for me to understand how a timeline could take place where, the various jurisdictions, the trust building exercises, and then also ultimately the information sharing exercises could all be done in the timeline that's been laid out here.
The agreement also makes moving ahead with the carbon capture and storage project, known as the Pathways Project, mandatory.
No pathways, no pipeline, and that's very clear in the agreement.
But there's no deadline for it. And with the agreement's lower industrial carbon price, some fear emission reduction projects like it will stall because it'll be cheaper to pollute.
These are high-emitting companies, in a high-emitting sector. They have a path forward to begin to reduce their emissions. What has been announced today with industrial pricing makes that path harder.
Questions about a potential pipeline route and cost could be answered when Alberta's government submits its plan to Ottawa. The deadline for that is July 1st. Sam Sampson, CBC News, Edmonton.
Now let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton. At the end of the day, what does this deal accomplish for Mark Carney, Rosie?
I mean, first and foremost, Erica, I think he's trying to demonstrate he can get big things done, which is, of course, what he was elected on. A pipeline approval on this kind of timeline would possibly be record speed for this country if it indeed happens. The Prime Minister is also, I think, trying to make the case that getting Alberta to commit to an industrial carbon price or net zero emissions by 2050 inside this legal framework is actually going to achieve more when it comes to climate change than before. So it's about economic growth for the country, less reliance on the United States, and also trying to show the separatists and the skeptical inside Alberta that Canada can work for them.
But as we heard, not everyone sees this as a win-win.
Yeah, for sure. There are challenges here that are both practical and political, including how this unfolds inside Mark Carney's own caucus, particularly those MPs who believe this is not good for the fight against climate change. How does this play out in Quebec, which is the political power base of the Prime Minister right now? Does this version of cooperative federalism that we saw today, does that mean other provinces are now going to have demands for Ottawa and the Prime Minister will have to manage all of those? How difficult might that be? British Columbia would be the prime example of that, but certainly not the only one. And it's very possible that by trying to solve one province's frustrations, other frustrations have now been created. And that's going to be a real test of the Prime Minister's leadership.
All right, thanks for this. That's Rosemary Barton in Ottawa. 2 Canadians have been stripped of their Order of Canada. In a rare move, the Governor-General removed the honour awarded to Peter Daglish on the left and Jacques Lamar on the right. Daglish was given the award for his humanitarian work, but was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 boys in Nepal in 2019. Lamar, the former CEO of SNC-Lavalin, was found guilty of collusion and corruption by an engineering regulator earlier this year. Canada's Supreme Court has made a landmark ruling on intimate partner violence. It's created a new legal basis for victims to sue for damages. Lane Harrison explains the decision advocates are celebrating tonight.
Thank you, Julie.
An emotional moment, a decade in the making.
I looked at Julie, and Julie had tears in her eyes. I just hugged her, and we just both cried. We just cried.
Kuldeep Ahluwalia's fight for justice against her abusive ex-husband, culminating in a landmark Supreme Court ruling allowing Canadians to sue for damages on the grounds they've suffered from intimate partner violence through coercive control.
It means there's a new day for people who have been exposed to intimate partner violence.
The 6-3 decision creates a new tort, the legal term for a specific ground someone can sue in civil court. The decision says, quote, the existing tort fails to remedy the specific wrong to dignity, autonomy, and equality that intimate partner violence creates. It includes not only physical violence, but humiliation, surveillance, and economic abuse, among other tactics.
I'm glad that it has become a landmark case. And I'm sure it's going to help many women out there who are suffering.
It's rare for a court to create a new tort, but advocates are applauding the move.
The biggest thing is that for decades, survivors and victims have had to explain the dynamics of abuse over and over and over again throughout the system, including the legal system.
But this expert says it will take some time for courts to define what exactly the ruling means.
I am somewhat concerned that the decision seems quite broad, and I think as a result of the lack of precision, we're going to see a lot of litigation, a lot of discussion among judges and lawyers.
The dissenting justices say while intimate partner violence is an epidemic, they believe adequate remedies already existed in the legal system. Lane Harrison, CBC News, Toronto.
Donald Trump is back home tonight after a high-stakes trip to China.
That was a tremendous success. I think it really was a historic moment. Thank you.
Chinese President Xi Jinping had similar praise, but while the two-day visit yielded plenty of photo ops, there were few deals and no breakthroughs on some thorny issues like Taiwan and Iran. Lisa Sheng looks at the challenges that lie ahead.
These are the most beautiful roses anyone's ever seen.
In the final hours of his visit to China, the U.S. president was granted rare access to Zhongnanhai, the highly secretive compound of China's Communist Party. Before lunch and tea with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Donald Trump gave his view of the summit.
This has been an incredible visit. I think a lot of good has come of it.
While Trump and U.S. officials announced China will buy at least 200 Boeing jets, more agricultural products, and energy, the Chinese have not confirmed much, just that they will form a board of trade to facilitate trade and reduce tariffs.
Johnson, how do you like China?
I love China.
Yeah? Do you plan to visit?
While Trump's entourage of business CEOs only had good things to say, it's not clear whether any real headway was made. Meanwhile, for Xi, perhaps the biggest win, stability. Calling it a historic and landmark visit, he said, "We have established a new constructive and strategic relationship." On his way back to Washington, Trump addressed a point of friction over Taiwan, the self-governed island Beijing claims. A $14 billion arms package from the U.S. to the island is waiting for his signature.
What about the arms sales to Taiwan?
I'll make a determination over the next fairly short period.
And if Xi had any plans to help Trump end the war with Iran, he did not say publicly, although a statement from China's foreign ministry said the conflict should never have happened and has no reason to continue. Even if the summit did not yield major agreements yet, it was still significant, says this expert.
Moving forward, I think both sides see the downside of not working together, of competing without limits.
Observers say the outcomes of this visit indicate just how weak a position Trump was in, that stabilizing the relationship was likely the biggest win instead of any major concessions from China.
So, Lisa, what comes next for that relationship?
Well, it'll be telling to see if and how the two countries move forward, whether we'll see that mistrust, that competition for global dominance and influence continue, and in what form. Now, Xi is expected to visit the U.S. in September, just a couple of months before a trade truce between the two countries is set to expire. Erica?
All right, thanks for this. Lisa Sheng tonight in Toronto. Dozens of people are dead in the Democratic Republic of Congo, along with another person in neighboring Uganda, all linked to an Ebola outbreak. Lauren Pelly explains why this one has doctors so worried as they race to control the spread.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is no stranger to Ebola after facing more than a dozen outbreaks in recent decades. But a massive new one is testing the country's capacity to contain this deadly viral infection. African health officials are reporting at least 246 suspected cases and 67 deaths in Congo. The outbreak is concentrated in one of the country's northeastern provinces. And on Friday, neighboring Uganda also announced an Ebola infection imported from Congo. That individual died in hospital on Thursday.
It's a very densely populated area, and this naturally increased the transmission rate.
The World Health Organization is deploying workers and supplies, but expects major challenges in tackling the outbreak.
The region where it is happening is highly volatile, with the humanitarian situation going on and the population moving around.
Tests also show this is a rare strain of Ebola, one that doesn't have a vaccine.
The stockpile of vaccine that they use for ring vaccination strategies for control of outbreaks is not going to be relevant.
Ebola can cause severe hemorrhagic fever, multi-organ failure, and high rates of death. The virus is highly contagious through infected bodily fluids.
The biggest thing right now is getting those contacts identified, right?
This Canadian microbiologist has worked on the ground during past Ebola outbreaks. He says his colleagues in Africa are racing to get the current crisis under control.
We're all trying to be as optimistic as we can, but also seeing a lot of cases grow very quickly. It brings about a certain amount of concern in our minds.
African health officials are now calling on the world to help, including their counterparts here in Canada. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
In Vancouver tonight, an older man is in critical condition and 2 police officers are also injured after a vehicle plowed through a downtown neighborhood.
Allegedly, this driver was driving all over the pedestrian path into the park, narrowly missing some people and unfortunately striking an elderly man.
Police say the elderly man was in a motorized scooter at the time. The driver was arrested after he allegedly rammed a police car and his vehicle flipped, trapping him inside. Investigators say the motive remains unclear, but mental health and drug use issues may have been factors. In southern Manitoba, people are cleaning up after a powerful windstorm hit the region yesterday, causing widespread damage. One man was inside his mobile home when the storm tore through, taking his roof with it.
I watched the whole roof peel off, lift up, everything lifted up from there, all the insulation, all the boards or whatever, those baffle things or whatever, and they just lifted up and just like shoom.
Environment Canada says some communities saw winds over 100 kilometers an hour. At the time of the storm, there was so much dust, there was near zero visibility on some highways in the region. A long-running ad with a very distinct jingle has been banned from the airwaves in California. A judge found the charity behind Cars for Kids violated a false advertising law. As Thomas Dagler reports, that's raising questions here in Canada.
The familiar jingle asks viewers to call toll-free and donate your car. But this long-running Cars for Kids ad is now banned in California, with a court finding the jingle memorable but deceptive.
How many times would you say you've heard that?
Honestly, hundreds over the years. Hundreds.
It's just one of those songs that you keep singing in your head when you're in your shower.
A plaintiff in California filed a lawsuit 5 years ago after he donated a 2001 Volvo like this one. He only later learned Cars for Kids doesn't support local children in need. Instead, the money goes to fund URA, a Jewish charity focused on New York and New Jersey, with programs including matchmaking for young adults and gap year trips to Israel for 17 and 18-year-olds.
As we've seen,
this charity industry watcher says Canadian donors may be surprised to learn where proceeds go.
They think the money is going to help needy kids in Canada. It's not. The money goes right from Canada right down to New Jersey.
We went to the Toronto office listed as Cars for Kids Canadian headquarters.
Is Cars for Kids Canada here?
It's only online, so you have to contact them directly.
Okay, so there's no one here.
No one here, physically here.
Cars for Kids Canadian website features pictures of group activities, saying the money goes to a registered Jewish charity. And in an email, the organization insisted Cars for Kids Canada is a separate organization from its U.S. counterpart. But we reviewed Cars for Kids filings with the Canada Revenue Agency and found most of their spending last year went to programs in the U.S. and Israel, as well as on advertising. Cars for Kids did not respond when asked whether any of the proceeds go to help children in Canada. Thomas Dagler, CBC News, Toronto.
Recent claims of antisemitism within the Toronto Police Service may soon be under investigation. Toronto's Police Service Board is asking Ontario's policing oversight body to look into the issue. Former homicide inspector Hank Idsinga first made allegations of antisemitism and racism last month in an interview with Adrian.
I could write a book centered around that topic.
Racism, anti-Semitism.
Racism, anti-Semitism, tyrannical behavior, corruption, dysfunction in the senior ranks.
In a statement, Toronto's police chief said the allegations are being taken extremely seriously. We want to clarify a story we brought you on Wednesday about a prank show being produced for CBC Entertainment and APTN. The story referenced unmarked graves at a residential school in BC. What several Indigenous communities across Canada have discovered on the sites of some former residential schools are potential burial sites or suspected unmarked graves. We have a lot more still ahead, including a CBC News investigation.
Canada's largest white supremacist group is training with fascist fight clubs in the U.S., growing a global network, preparing for what they say is a race war.
What our visual investigations team uncovered, coming up. Plus, Drake's downtown stunt to drop 3 new albums.
I think part of his job now is to resuscitate his career.
And no, this interview with Galen Weston Jr. did not happen.
These are nothing more than scams.
How to spot a fake and what you can do about it. We're back in 2. After weeks of intense hype, rapper Drake has finally released his new music. To the surprise of fans, it was not 1, but 3 new albums. Magda Gabrisalasa shows us how it's being received.
Iceman turn like we knew that the table. Rolling out a cold as ice comeback. Drake releasing his highly anticipated new Iceman album, taking over Toronto with an icy-looking CN Tower, a fireworks show, and a live stream. But then more. Drake dropped 2 other albums, Habibti and Maid of Honor. What else? Iceman turn, what else?
I just listened to all 3 on the way here on the train, and they're all fantastic.
He's the GOAT. He's the best. He puts Toronto on the map, and he's the best rapper in the game.
It's been a tough few years for Drake after a high-profile and damaging public feud with rapper Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us. They not like us.
Lamar's hit song Not Like Us went after Drake, branding him a pedophile. Drake denied the allegation and launched a defamation suit against their shared label, which was later dismissed, but he's appealing it. I came here to turn a new leaf. Leading into this rollout, Drake had something to prove, says this musicologist.
I think part of his job now is to resuscitate his career and to demonstrate to a younger fan base, or to his original fan base, that he can still come back, make hits, and be the pop star that he has been.
But his new music is getting early mixed reviews. The Guardian called it boring and a bloated disaster, but some Drake fans disagree.
It's definitely going to be a Drake summer.
Toronto radio personality Triz likes what he hears so far, and he thinks Drake is set to reach new heights.
We actually might see just like this dominance across the chart. I think it might be the first time we actually see 3 albums chart at the same time.
Look up. Turbulent flights, dodging cumulus clouds. Time will tell whether Drake's new music gets a warm reception or the cold shoulder from listeners. Magda Gabrisalasa, CBC News, Toronto.
We can also take you behind the scenes tonight to see how Drake's stunt at the CN Tower came together.
We could have done this anywhere in the world, but he chose to make it about Toronto.
The man behind the moment, next. The world's biggest music competition comes to a head this weekend, but not without controversy.
I heard, first of all, in the beginning, a lot of booing.
The boycotts and protests as Eurovision prepares to crown its new winner. And what happens when FIFA taps you to make sure all the grass at all the World Cup stadiums is up to snuff?
Holy smokes. Then the gravity starts to set in.
The Canadian in charge of perfecting the pitch. The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. Tomorrow, the Eurovision Song Contest holds its grand final in Vienna. But the event representing unity is again being overshadowed by Israel's participation. Chris Brown shows us the political divisions.
The campy costumes scream Eurovision. More than just music, it's a celebration of pop culture fused with national branding.
It's the unity of the countries around, and the music and the happy and joy it brings.
But Israel's participation has sparked the largest boycott in the event's 70-year history. Stop the genocide, screamed audience hecklers Tuesday night as singer Nom Batan performed in the semi-final.
I heard, first of all, in the beginning, a lot of booing, and a few seconds passed, and I got a huge wave of unforgettable love and support.
Opponents want Israel booted out over its war in Gaza, which local health authorities say has killed more than 70,000 people and created a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. Spain is among the 5 nations boycotting the event, which Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said puts his country on the right side of history.
The situation is terrible because the contest is in crisis.
Canadian academic Karen Fricker, who studied Eurovision, says keeping politics out of the music has become almost impossible.
Well, if Russia's not okay, why is Israel okay?
Russia was kicked out in 2021 after its invasion of Ukraine. But Israelis and their supporters view this war as defensive, and they accuse opponents of conducting an anti-Semitic smear campaign.
I'm not from Israel, I'm not Jewish, but I feel ashamed that this is happening in Europe.
It's all coming to a head Saturday at the grand final, when Israel and 24 other acts try to convince international juries and an audience at home of potentially 160 million people that they've got the best pop song in Europe. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
In the breakdown tonight, tracking a Canadian white nationalist group's meetings in the U.S. and making the perfect blades of grass for the world's best soccer players. From the science to the farms to the stadiums, curating the impact of the ground beneath their feet.
We want it to come in where it hits and skips, and it's not going to bounce, say, above their knees.
We'll speak with the Canadian charged with getting it right. But first,
I'm for pro-white.
Allied by shared ideology, white nationalists from Canada meet their U.S. counterparts for joint training south of the border.
There is very likely a high degree of strategizing that is happening at these events.
Christian Poslang from the CBC News Visual Investigation Unit tracked their movements and spoke to those who have studied their ambitions.
Canada's largest white supremacist group is training with fascist fight clubs in the U.S., growing a global network, preparing for what they say is a race war.
The race war is here.
For the first time since their formation, Second Sons Canada is promoting how it sent members south of the border, meeting with some of the most prominent white nationalist groups in the United States and the founder of the whole movement.
I'm for pro-white. I'm for putting my race above everything else.
Through public Telegram posts, videos, and images, we track them from Texas to a major gathering in South Carolina.
It's very significant that we're seeing Canadians travel across the border. It is getting more and more coordinated by the day.
Second Sons Canada describes itself as a men's nationalist club. But based on our previous reporting and expert analysis, it's more like what's called an active club. Active clubs are a global movement of white nationalist fight clubs who gather to train in combat sports. They're founded by this guy, Robert Rundo.
I put my people first. You know, there's fun in fascism.
What we're seeing is a growing white supremacist movement that orients itself around physical activity, who are using these activities as conduits into white supremacist radicalization and mobilization.
Here's the leader of Second Sons, Jeremy Mackenzie, giving a Nazi salute. And the group openly welcomes neo-Nazis. Here's their vice president, Alex Friend.
We do have National Socialist members, I'm not going to lie about that.
We've spotted American active clubs coming to Canada before. They were present at a meeting in 2024, hosted by the Ontario-based group NS13, which we geolocated to Goderich, Ontario, and also last summer in Haldimand County in southern Ontario. We discovered the location by finding these wind turbines in the background of this Telegram video. Second Sons has held demonstrations across Canada, but this is the first time it's posted images of its members in the United States. According to Telegram posts in late March, they traveled to Texas for their first meetup with Lone Star Active Club, based around Dallas. We've geolocated these images to verify them, and we find that their first meetup was in the city of Fort Worth. The two groups can obviously be seen at the Fort Worth stockyards, but also at a major gym. And here they are at a private gym used by the Lone Star Active Club. This place was first geolocated by the Texas Observer.
This is very much a broad, multinational movement of like-minded individuals who share similar interests, whether that be combat sports, martial arts, physical exercise, but also a similar ideology in that they want to establish a homeland for white people only.
So Second Sons is meeting up with the Texas Active Club, but that's just their first stop. We uncover ties to an even more important figure in this movement. This image appears to be taken in a sort of clubhouse for the Lone Star group. You might think that this is 3 Second Sons members. Check out this guy in the middle though. We believe this is Robert Rundo.
When I first saw that picture, I laughed because despite the blurring, I knew it was Rundo right away. I mean, that's obviously Robert Rundo. There's no question.
Rundo is the founder of the modern Active Club movement.
In 2024, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison for what U.S. prosecutors described as planning and engaging in riots at political rallies, in which Rundo and others pursued and assaulted other persons, and were later seen celebrating the assaults they had committed.
I've been investigating Robert Rundo since 2020. There had been a long legal saga at various points throughout that timeline that I've been following him.
Here's why we think it's him. The watch in this video appears to be the same one as this image. And the tattoo blurred here is in the same shape and place as Rundo's tattoo in this other video. He's also appeared in this place before. Take this video of him preparing White Lad's monthly Sunday dinner.
I would describe him as, well, the founder of the Active Club movement. He does have really the most senior role, much more of a strategic or ideological figurehead.
Next, Second Sons members hit the road, traveling from Texas to South Carolina. They're heading to American Muscle 2, part combat sports tournament, part networking event. They meet there with clubs from across the US, like Great Lakes Active Club. You can see someone wearing the Second Sons shirt in this promotional video put out by the organization running the event. That organization? Patriot Front, one of the United States' most notorious white nationalist groups.
Nothing even comes close to Patriot Front, so there's a reason why we learn from them, learn from other groups, and why we try to emulate some of what they do.
There is very likely a high degree of strategizing that is happening at these events, as well as deeper thinking as to how to propel the movement forward.
American Muscle 2 took place at a business called Dixie Republic. It describes itself as the South's largest Confederate store.
The actual model that they have adopted that is designed to radicalize and push individuals into white supremacist. These groups are ultimately seeking to undermine democracy and replace Canadian values with a very strict fascist interpretation of the society they want to achieve.
I think the greater worry should be around, the potential radicalization among the existing members and the existing core and leadership, a radicalization towards political violence.
Now, the visual investigations team reached out to the American groups and businesses in this story for comment. None responded. Robert Rundo also did not address CBC's questions. Social media posts show white nationalist groups continue to hold demonstrations and meetups across the country. A new trend is being jumped on by online scammers looking for new victims and new ways to deceive them. They're using what appears to be real CBC News content, including AI-generated interviews featuring Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault. Avneet Dillon shows us how they do it and how you might spot what's fake.
These photos of an interview between Galen Weston Jr. and CBC News Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault might look real, but they're not. They're AI generated. They're part of a fake CBC story that says Weston stormed off the set of an interview with Adrian. This Threads user posted about seeing an ad that linked to the fake article, assuming the interview was real. But the entire event never happened. The CEO of Loblaw's parent company never sat down with Adrian.
What is completely terrible about this is how many people are reaching out saying they think it's real. And what we really worry about is that some people have been scammed, because that's what these are. These are nothing more than scams.
We dropped the photos into Google Lens and found they were made using Google AI. The AI tool appears to have manipulated footage of a real interview Adrian did with Prime Minister Mark Carney, which you can find on the National's YouTube channel. When you compare the AI-generated images with the real interview, you can see the background and Adrian's outfit look the same. But there are some visual cues in the fake photos that indicate they're AI-generated. Some of the photos show a glass of water on the table next to Weston, but in this one you can see the lines of the glass are warped. The fake article itself is a scam to take your money. It promotes a fake investment platform called Crest Fund Grove that links to this page, with an attempt to get you to enter your personal info. Lower down in the fake article, Adrian appears to be promoting the fake investment scheme. Real CBC News stories will never endorse investments, goods, or services. They can be found on our website, cbcnews.ca. If you're seeing other fake stories or images like this, send us an email at ask@cbc.ca.
Coming up, with less than a month until the kickoff of FIFA's World Cup, the grass at 16 host stadiums is being scoured blade by blade.
I think when people look at this turf, they say, like, oh, it's just grass. But it is much more than just grass. This is really a complex system.
We're talking to the Canadian who's in charge of making the fields pitch perfect. Next. When the FIFA World Cup opens next month, the spotlight won't just be on the players, but also on the fields. So, how to meet the expectation for pristine pitches at 16 stadiums in 3 countries?
On a 12-month basis, we maintain constant temperatures. We supply the sunlight through grow lights.
At Vancouver's BC Place, Lindsay Duncombe got a close-up view of the high-tech sod and met the Canadian tasked with making sure it's fit for top-tier soccer.
I'm at Vancouver's BC Place, one of 16 stadiums hosting World Cup matches, the most locations ever. We are talking about different cities, different stadiums, different climates, different countries, all with one big challenge: how to make the grass pitch perfect, even indoors.
Right now I'm on a sod farm about 2 hours north of Monterrey, Mexico, and what you see behind me is one of 2 production pitches for the FIFA World Cup next year.
The lead scientist figuring it all out is Canadian.
This is the best sod I've seen in Mexico ever. I mean, this is beautiful.
Meet John Sorokin, PhD from the University of Tennessee. He's originally from Calgary. When FIFA offered him the gig, he knew it was a big deal.
Well, a big gulp, and like a wow factor, like holy smokes. Then the gravity starts to set in. You start to think about it, and it's like, whoa, this is like, where do we start and what do we do?
Here's the scale of the challenge. Of the 16 stadiums, most are built for football, the American kind. 8 usually have artificial turf. That won't do for the World Cup. And 5 of them, including Vancouver, have covered domes. Hard to grow grass without the sun.
This is the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's the first World Cup game ever played indoors.
It has been done before. Back in 1994, the first time the U.S. hosted the World Cup. And look who was on the grass team then. Early in his career, that's John Sorokin.
It was a stressful environment. If you looked at that pitch at the end, you could see the wear and tear that was on it. Thank God technology's changed over the last 32 years.
Has it ever?
On a 12-month basis, we maintain constant temperatures. We supply the sunlight through grow lights.
This is video from the lab at the University of Tennessee. Here, they tested reinforcing natural grass blades with synthetic ones. Working alongside Michigan State University, scientists calculated how grass responds to a player's movement, even using a robotic foot, and evaluated how a soccer ball bounces.
So we want it to come in where it hits and skips, and it's not going to bounce, say, above their knees as it's coming in at that angle. And how do you manage these two grasses? At what heights, what kind of moisture, things like that, and densities, that it's going to be consistent and uniform.
And here's another challenge. Many of the World Cup host cities have very different climates. Grass that grows well in, say, Guadalajara or Miami won't work here in BC. So each stadium works with a local grower to produce the perfect grass for that climate. Here in British Columbia, it's Boss Sod, a family business based in Abbotsford. Working with FIFA and the scientists, they grew the right mix of Kentucky bluegrass and ryegrass. There's a special technique. The sod is grown on plastic so the roots spread horizontally, making it easier to transport and quick to grow down once delivered.
Now you can cut it like a pizza and roll it up off of the plastic, and those roots are all intact and have not been cut off.
And after years in the making, the testing, the growing, the harvest, here it is. Tony Valente is in charge of infrastructure at BC Place.
You know, I think when people look at this turf, they say, like, oh, it's just grass. But it is much more than just grass. This is really a complex system of different things working together, whether that be irrigation, vacuum ventilation, or the hybrid sod itself.
Yes, you heard that right. The pitch was installed with a built-in vacuum system to manage moisture. Now, it's up to the BC contractors and crews to maintain that perfection.
How many people are responsible for making sure it stays this nice?
We have our entire BC Place conversions team, as well as some international experts, and then our design team and others supporting. So you're probably looking, I mean, just to give a round number, something between 15 to 50 people, all of them doing their separate parts to make it happen.
As for how much this costs, Valente doesn't have a breakdown for just the pitch. It's budgeted as part of the up to $180 million spent to upgrade BC Place ahead of the tournament.
And it's really been an effort, both with all of our local companies showcased, but as well with also companies from around the world as well.
Are you tempted just to go run on it?
No, I just want to look at it and admire it.
Now that the turf is in the stadiums and handed over to local crews, Sorokin says he's finally sleeping through the night, no longer waking up with grass anxiety.
Probably in the last month is when I first started getting better sleep in the last 8 years. I hope I can enjoy it more than be worried about it when the games kick off.
He will be on call to fly to a stadium if they need his expert help. And he's got tickets for Canada-Switzerland right here at BC Place to watch Canada kick off on the grass he helped to create.
That Switzerland game that Lindsay mentioned will be Canada's third and final group stage match. It will be the second of Canada's games played in Vancouver. The team opens its World Cup campaign in Toronto on June 12th. You saw this earlier in the show, Drake's stunt at the CN Tower. Well, now we can take you behind the scenes.
You know, he could have done this anywhere in the world, but he chose to make it about Toronto.
The story behind it all, next in The Moment. The CN Tower last night, awash in an icy blue projection. The Toronto landmark, the scene of Drake's latest spectacle to launch his new music. Drake didn't do this alone, of course. A team of hundreds helped make it happen using dozens of projectors, including on the roof of our broadcast center in Toronto. Tonight, we take you behind the scenes in our moment.
We have this crazy idea from Drake's side. We froze the entire CN Tower. No one's done it before. We had 3 sites, 75 projectors. We had 3 weeks. We were in the room waiting for a call when the live stream started so we could trigger the projections. Projections going live now. Projections are live. We coordinated the lights, with our projections to light up the roof of the CN Tower. A real-time 3D animation where we took into account the 3D geometry of the tower and we showed it freezing real-time with computer animation all the way to the top. When the projection went up, there was both a feeling of relief, excitement, oh my goodness, and then kind of back to relief, oh my goodness. We do touch magic a little bit. It took a moment, I looked back and I was like, yeah, that's what we did. We're just a bunch of kids from Toronto that kind of had crazy ideas and crazy dreams, and like kind of through like the conduit of Drake, you know, we're given the opportunity to execute at a really high level. 1, 2, 3, Viva! There's always a way to use technology to solve a problem. That's what I do, is I kind of find the link between what technology exists, what technology we can make, and how we can execute it. You know, we could have done this anywhere in the world, but he chose to make it about Toronto. We're really thankful to have someone like Drake who went out of his way to put Canadian creatives on the forefront. And I'm super excited for what they call to ask us to do next.
Now, the design and execution wasn't all just Anil. It was a collaborative team effort with Matt Babel, Kevin Lee, and Zong from Drake's team, also known as the Dream Crew. And this project was not cheap. 75 projectors alone cost $15 million. From all of us at The National, thank you for being with us. I'm Erica Johnson in Vancouver. Take care.